Nate calls heads, it comes up heads, and Nate starts with a Smeargle and Tynamo. I start with a Smeargle, and Darkrai. Nate benches another Tynamo and plays Professor Oak. Gets a third Tynamo, so he's doing pretty good. He portraits and gets my N, so we both shuffle in. He benches a Thunderous and ends his turn. I bench another Darkrai, attach an energy, play a random receiver, and get a Juniper. I play a Juniper, which allows me to get some darkness energy in the discard pile, which is obviously what you always want to do on turn one. I attached a Dark Claw, flipped a couple heads on Dual Ball, and got 2 more Smeargles, hoping to really tear through my deck and start knocking off those Tynamos while they're still vulnerable. Skyro Bridge, and I portrait, and he's got nothing. So that's the end. All my high hopes for turn one were dashed because Nate was not cooperating. So now Nate goes. He portraits my Oak. He attaches an energy to Thundurus, plays his own Oak. Gets an electric, a level ball for a second electric. Retreats and charge. Okay, let's see here. I play an Oak. Attach an energy to Darkrai. Need one more. I play a Dark Patch, and now Darkrai is fully charged up. I Junk Arm to get the Dark Patch and play it again to start charging up the other Darkrai. Portrait gets absolutely nothing once again. And I Night Spear to knock out the Thundurus and put 30 on one of the electrics. He brings up Smeargle. Portrait. He portraits me, and this time his portrait fails. He also tries a Dual Ball, and the Dual Ball fails, so a little luck is going in my direction for a change. He lays down a Zekrom, Dynamotors twice, brings up the Zekrom, and does a Bolt Strike for 120. I attach Darkness Energy to the bench Darkrai. Play random receiver, and then an N. Nothing I can use right now off the end, so I go ahead and Night Spear to knock out the Zekrom and put 30 more on the electric. And boom, here comes the Terrakion. He portraits me, gets an Oak, which I immediately realized I should have junk armed it away and gotten the random receiver back so he wouldn't be able to portrait that Oak. He dynamotors and a lightning energy onto the Terrakion. Level balls another electric. So now he's got 3 electrics. He retreats. He catches up the bench Darkrai and knocks it out. And of course his Terrakion has an Eviolite on it, which makes it much more difficult to knock out. I attach an energy to the Darkrai, a Dark Claw, play a plus power, Oak, and I portrait. He's got an Oak and an N. I choose the Oak, but in retrospect I probably should have chosen the N. I junk arm for the Dark Patch, attach an energy to Darkrai and do a Night Spear, which knocks out the electric I had been sniping on the bench. Professor Oak's new theory. Nate plays a switch to portrait my hand. He portraits an Oak. Retreats and retaliates for the knockout. The second Darkrai is now ready to go. I attach an energy. I Night Spear to knock out the Terrakion and do 32 in electric. He sends up Smeargle, plays 2 plus powers, plays a junk arm to get his dual ball, and of course he gets his Terrakion. So obviously he can dynamotor the lightning energy onto it. He will just need the fighting energy to end the game. And he portraits me, and there is a Juniper there, and the Juniper gives him the fighting energy, and that is the end. Nate's deck was highly effective against Darkrai, and his gameplay was excellent. In that first game, he never played a Terrakion until he was ready to retaliate. It was very frustrating for me that he was able to successfully portrait me 5 times, while I was only able to successfully portrait him once. But that's the way it goes. Congratulations, Nate.